Hi guys! Welcome on in. You say cosmic outings?
Outings.
Oh,
Or outings if you're out and about. You know.
cosmic outings. We're just getting cozy at Cosmic Energy and Spiritual Wellness. So, I'm Everin Ryu, the Galactic Shamanic Practitioner, owner, founder, all that jazz.
I am Elam Ryu, co-founder of Cosmic Energy. This is Mahina, or at least it was. He's not here anymore. Cosmic Shaman.
Yes, initiated by yours truly.
Yes.
This is our very first ever. Oh, I gotta see
Your
where.
hands are everywhere.
Yes, I gotta see. We have yet to record in this area. Neat.
It works. It's very beautiful. We have a beautiful recording.
Yes. So we're going to be going over planetary transitions, lunar phases for February, different services that are free and, have a price towards them. Kind of go over everything for February. So I'm super duper stoked. And please, if you jump on in during the live and have some questions about cosmic energy or spiritual wellness, drop them in the comments. If you're not here during the live and you still have a question that is relative to what we're speaking about, leave it in the comments so we can check it out. Now, planetary transitions. So, right away, I noticed that 2025, the lunar cycles are actually beginning with the first quarter, the first week of the month. So typically, when we think of a lunar cycle, we are like, okay, it starts at the new moon. I just saw 222 on the clock. So it starts at the new moon and then it ends at that beautiful crescent phase, right? Well, this is where energy gets a little, I don't want to say conflicting, but at the end of the month, we're experiencing a new moon, just like, what was it? This past new moon was the 29th of January. If you want more information about that, we have a blog on it. But it's interesting that we're ending a month by beginning a new cycle. I'm going to be distracted by that all night. So if you feel the moon connects with your heart chakra, it connects with the middle, the center of your heart chakra. If you have my book, your Cosmic Chakra Guidebook, you will know that the heart chakra is split up into 3 sections. If you're adequate with the lotus petals with chakras and how the heart chakra contains 33 petals, well, if you split that up, each section contains 11 petals or 11 phases of understanding your heart. And that's where splitting it up into a feminine, masculine, and neutral or balancing area can be really helpful in understanding how to integrate energy and emotions. Because as I'm always saying, energy equals emotions in motion.
Energy in motion.
Exactly. But it is going to feel different because we're ending a month, so you're like, yay, I'm complete, but then we are starting a new cycle towards the end of a month, and then the beginning of a month is going to have the main energy of a first quarter. And if you've been a client of mine or not, I always say how first quarters, I've noticed the one, the most clients, two, the most complaining. So it's really a signifier of irritating people. Like you get triggered, and it's actually triggers of change. These are helpful challenges. I usually say if you're experiencing a challenge that isn't around the first quarter, it's usually you not going with the flow. But if there is a challenge around the first quarter, you're going with the flow, and you're meant, your higher self, your spiritual team put those challenges in your way. Welcome on in. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. But I'm just going over planetary transitions and lunar phases, pretty a rough drafty, and going over how we are having this conflict of ending a month by beginning a new cycle, lunar cycle. So your physical actions might not pair up with the energy that the lunar phase will be carrying for 2025, just in the mere fact that cycles are ending at the middle of the month and a new cycle is beginning at the end. So just being clear about like an entire lunar cycle is typically when we manifest goals, we utilize emotions and energies and manifest them. So beginning with that first quarter, it's in Taurus. So if you have Taurian placements, it's going to knock you off your feet in the best way possible.
In a good way, yes.
Yes,
in a good way.
in a good
very
way.
Helpful, you're going to learn about yourself way.
It's all good. Just, that's when your spirit team is like, hey, it's time for us to do our homework. And that's the energy that pushes us to do our homework. Should I do it week by week? With like moon phases and planetary transitions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think going week by week would be good.
So this first coming up week, Tuesday, we start off with Jupiter going direct. This is amazing news because whenever a planet is in retrograde, and I want to be very adamant, when planets go in retrograde, they aren't going backwards. They're just going slower around our planet. So we have the ability, we have the chance to catch up to the energy. So we get to actually observe energy that's typically moving at a faster rate. So now that Jupiter going direct in Gemini, this is connecting with our crown. So that crown chakra is opening, it's getting out of that observational period, and now it's actually experiencing. And then we have Venus entering Aries, and that is another heart. That's that heart receiving, and that's happening prior to that first quarter in Taurus. So we're having a lot of these upper chakra advancements for the first week of February. Alongside the 6th, we have Neptune in conjunction with the true node. Neptune has to deal with your feminine third eye chakra, and it is combining its energy with the true node or north node. And that's all about your future goals, your future self, your aspirations, like where are your goals sitting? So we have this beautiful upper chakra. What would you even call it? Balance?
Balance.
Considering last week, or towards the end of January, we experienced Uranus getting out of retrograde. It's going direct. And that's that masculine third eye awakening. And now we're having Neptune combine its energy with true node. So now there's this heavy ability to receive new experiences in those upper chakras. So whenever we're dealing with upper chakras and there is a lot of energy coming towards us, if we are not grounded enough in what we're doing, that can bring about anxiety. But I'm also seeing the lunar phase and the first quarter being in Taurus can actually assist with that grounding. It's almost as if in assisting with the grounding, you're going to be pushed to grounding through things that you may not want to ground with. They might be new things.
More physical things,
Yes,
material things.
but not in a materialistic way.
No, not letting your ego take over that specific mindset.
More of like appreciating the things you already have and grounding through them. So that'll be an interesting week. I am excited about that week. As well as, let's just go over everything for that week. That coming up Saturday, Elam and I will both be in Minnesota at Divine Lights, 11/11. Yay. We will be offering services, tarot and oracle readings. I'll be providing Starseed channelings and not chakra clearings because it will be a donation-based day. I only say that because my chakra clearings are at least 60 minutes and these are 20-minute mini sessions.
I will be offering chakra cleanses on that donation-based Saturday.
And that's where I wonder about all of this energy. I feel as though a chakra cleanse would be incredibly beneficial because I'm not seeing blockages. I feel as though if you have Taurus placements, there is a likelihood of having blockages within the chakras. So it either being overactive or just closing up. But if you don't have Taurian placements, I don't see blockages. I see more of a fear or anxiety, a misplacement of energy within your aura. And that would definitely be something to either get a card reading for or do your own card reading. Like, okay, where is this anxiety coming from? How am I able to receive experiences that I was observing while Jupiter was in retrograde? Jupiter being in Gemini, if you have Gemini placements, you could have been very much observing your thoughts lately. And then Venus entering Aries. This can be, if you have Aries placements, checking out how are you receiving love? How are you receiving love in those placements? And then honestly, Neptune in conjunct with True Node. That's truly accepting your natural abilities. I do like to back off from saying supernatural or learning abilities because you have these abilities naturally. I hand them. But definitely, if you're feeling that anxiety the 1st February, we have a lot of vibrations opening up and returning back to their orbit and a lot of receptive divine feminine placements. Whenever I say feminine or masculine, I don't mean male or female. I'm talking about feminine being your receiving energy. Masculine is a releasing energy. Yeah, Mr. Pono.
Hey, Pono.
Handsome. So we will be available Saturday for service Saturday. So that'll be exciting, as well as February 5th. Oh, good burp. February 5th, Wednesday, the 1st of each month. I will be going live. I believe I did it in January on Facebook at 1 p.m. I'll be offering angelic flame readings, so I won't be offering that tonight. So if you're interested in connecting to the Elohai, Brahmarata, Aramatina, or oh my goodness, Seraphim. I connect so much with Seraphim. That's probably why I didn't even think of mentioning it. But any of those four that intrigue you, or maybe you've been checking out those subscriptions online, February 5th, 1 p.m. I have it as an event on Facebook. So check that out if you're wanting a free reading the first Wednesday of each month for 2025. And then we have Instagram Live. That is a Starseed channeling. That one I'm super stoked about. The one for January was very interesting. Spoke a lot about a message from the Galactic Federation. Spoke a lot about the Pleiadian Council as well as the Syrian emissaries. That is something I want to speak about before we move further into February. Oh my goodness. The Pleiadian Council was absolutely and is absolutely magnificent connecting with during the month of January. But if you are needing assistance with your mindset, especially it being a new year, there are a lot of unfair expectations that we can press on ourselves during a new year. But the Pleiadian Council has a very gentle way in alleviating those expectations and allowing us to create new pathways within our mind. How did you feel about the Pleiadian Council?
It's very strong and powerful energy, but at the same time, it's very gentle and kind, and almost tailored specifically to what your need is at the time.
Yes, they spoke. So, Pono hair. They spoke a lot. And when I say they spoke, I'm speaking telepathically or channeling on Being Cosmic Chaos, our podcast. Mondays, connecting with the lunar phases. They're very adamant about how the more well-known lunar phases, so that new moon, first quarter, full moon, and last quarter, how they each carry a very significant amplification of a neurotransmitter. Go ahead and listen to those, the Pleiadian Council meditations, if you're wanting to learn more about specific neurotransmitters and the lunar phases that are connected to assisting. But exactly, they connect right towards your thought system, that neurotransmitter, and they're really allowing and paving a natural path of energy for you to understand. It's almost like when you see earlier, I was speaking about the first quarter, you see people having challenges and running into issues. But then when they accomplish that challenge, more often than not, I see them accomplishing even greater things afterward. Or if someone doesn't accomplish that challenge, they actually find a goal that they are authentically in alignment with, where their goal wasn't authentically aligning with them. So it's unique how challenges can bring that up. And it's unique how the beginning of each month for 2025 is going right towards that challenge. It's like, hey, we're not messing around here. Do you actually want the goals you're setting, or should we pave a new path towards goals that actually align with our truth?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. And then February, before we get more into the actual planetary transitions and lunar phases, Syrian emissaries have been coming up strongly. How would you, I have yet to share Monday, the 3rd, I'll be airing the first meditation under the Syrian emissary. But how would you, in our household, kind of describe their energy versus Pleiadian?
For me, Syrian energy is a little more direct. It's I don't want to say it's not as gentle, but because they are still very gentle, but they're very much like,
I get what you're saying. They're more physically direct.
yes, yeah, exactly. They're more physically direct. They're saying, hey, here's the problem, here's what we can do.
Action oriented.
And yes, action
Very
oriented.
action.
And they don't want to waste time, if that's even the right way to say it, because
I feel as though they don't even engage with that dimension of time.
yes,
I feel as though the Pleiadian Council is very much take your time with the thoughts that you need to. And I feel as though that's a little more gentle because they're dealing with thoughts, where, to my understanding, how I'm working with the Syrian emissaries is through aura, and they're very much direct. It's very clear, very concise, where Pleiadian Council is more of, well, how does this thought make you feel? Let's feel it out together type notion.
Exactly. I've had very much with Syrian direct imagery and ideas and thoughts, whereas Pleiadian energy is more, well, what do you think about this?
Yes.
How do you feel about that? What if we look at it from this perspective?
Pleiadian and I think that is exactly why Pleiadians are so good with dealing with the mindset, because it's such a touchy topic. They're really touching base on your mentality and making sure that you're not shaming or blaming in your mind. Whereas the Syrian emissary, they're like, no, if you aren't doing, just because you're trying to do something doesn't mean you're doing it. So that actions are it's just such a different way of doing things than your mental body. It's really the different aspects of Syrians connecting more with that physicality, heavily working with the aura, so the different multiple bodies, but always bringing it back to that physical vessel. Where the Pleiadians are not saying they don't care about your physical vessel, but more of, no, we're just in your mind right now. Let's explore and see where we can raise the vibration. Syrians are like, well, no, you got the vibrations down. Now we're going to put an action towards it. And this is the action that we're doing. Super direct. I'm so stoked. So look out for the moon meditations each Monday on Being Cosmic Chaos. And for February, it will be connecting with the Syrian Council. Super stoked about that. Connecting with the aura and the different bodies of the aura and how it influences your actions. All right, that's the first week of February. Now we have the next week of February. This is beautiful. The 12th, we have a full moon in Leo. So if you have Leo placements, a lot of energy. You have Leo placements. Yes. So understanding that the full moon is amplifying and providing those emotions to feel. And this is where at Cosmic Energy and Spiritual Wellness, we're less about letting things go and more about how can you integrate those feelings that you think or feel like you should let go, but instead there is something beautiful within that feeling. There's something, I know you're probably like, what are you talking about? There's a spiteful neighbor that I need to let go. What are you saying? I know. I'm saying, what am I saying?
That every challenge it can bring up is for the betterment of ourselves.
Yes. And the more and more we limit ourselves, so the more and more we let go, time and time again, from personal experience and from working with different clients, you let go so much of yourself because it's so triggering until there's nothing left and you feel alone. And we don't want you getting to that point. So the point is, during a full moon, your energy is raised to celebrate, to recognize that the aspects that you used to let go of, you actually can forgive and transmute and move towards something better, something greater. And it's not saying you have to do certain actions with the people that you dislike. It's merely saying you're not going to hide it under the rug or give it to your higher self to continue dealing with. You can actually deal with it now that we are in this fifth dimensional realm. That's what the 5D is about. It's about dealing with things that you used to run away from. It's about understanding nothing can actually get you or mess up your divine plan. It was placed on your path to confront and to get to a level of support and confidence within yourself. So knowing Leo in the full moon got your back. And then the 14th, Valentine's Day, Mercury enters Pisces. Pisces, I love that that's on Valentine's Day because it's such a compassionate and emotional sign. And then Mercury has the connection to your throat, so communication. So a lot of emotional, compassionate communication on that day. And any placements within Pisces, know that it's going to be charging up the way you express yourself and the truth. Also, where you might be not as honest with yourself. So recognize, are there places, are there emotions that you're not being honest with yourself? So we have two opposite signs helping each other out. We have the full moon in Leo, that's a fire sign, and it's proud and it's very, I don't like saying flashy. I don't know how to put, what word could you say instead of flashy? It's very out there.
I kind of like flashy, actually. But...
Flashy. Wow. Noticeable. It's a very noticeable placement. Very good, high frequency. So the full moon raises, like, look at me. I, like, look at my presence. If you think about a lion, like, if there's a freaking lion sitting out here, like, we don't live in Africa. We are nowhere near lions. But
you would notice it.
You would notice it. You would notice it. Even thinking about, like, the concept of lions being, I want to say, the only felines that have a structure. They're in a pride. They're in a group. Most large cats are not in family groups like that.
Most, yeah. Most small cats aren't either.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I think it's like across the board. Like, felines are pretty solitary creatures. So even in that sense, they're like, look at us. We got a big family. So that's what the full moon is, raising your spiritual, your faith, your confidence. And then we have on the 14th, that Pisces energy, that water energy is like, look, is there anything that you're not communicating? Because I will blow out your flame if you aren't communicating certain things. I will turn out your light if you're being dishonest about certain things within your emotions. So I do love how the energies are playing for that week. Then we have the 16th, Pallas entering Aquarius. This is huge. I believe I spoke about it in the Celestial Courage video. Celestial Courage videos, that's when the sun enters a sign. Also, the New Moon Nautical, that's a blog. It has words.
Wow.
No.
Intriguing.
For the new moon and full moons, I've been blogging. I noticed the new moon was a bit more informational. The full moon was just straight up fun because it's fairy business, and you know, you can find the message hopefully within the story. Yes. So if you have Aquarius energy, know that Pallas has everything to do with going through this universal gateway. So we have this fire and water action within these two chakras, right? And then this Aquarian energy is like, hey, how do you relate what you're proud of and what you honestly think of yourself? Because be very real. How many people honestly share how they feel about themselves to other people that they don't pay, like a therapist or a psychiatrist or something? And this isn't even like calling anyone out, but how often or how many people do we have that we're just like, gosh, I feel blah, blah, blah about myself? Positive, negative, neutral, right?
Yeah,
don't-
it's a rarity unfortunately in our society. Yeah, we don't tend to seek that support from others. We just ignore ourselves, essentially.
That is what Pallas entering Aquarius is going to reveal. It's going to first, that full moon, raising up those emotions of what we are proud of, what we want to show off. That February 14th is going to show us the honest truth of, okay, well, after you were peacocking over there, now how are you feeling now about expressing yourself honestly? Does it match? And that's what that gateway, that Pallas is going to be bringing in about, well, how do you display yourself and how are you actually proud of yourself? How do you represent that in the community, to your friends, to your family, to yourself? So that'll be, what do you think about that week?
It's going to be a big week. It's going to be a very good week. None of this, of course, is to scare anybody, but it's just saying, like, hey, this is the energy that's going to be around, and use it to your advantage.
And it's not a very physical week either. I noticed I didn't put the physical, like, lunar placements. I just put the major lunar placement for the week, which is that full moon in Leo. But for planetary transitions, we just have that Leo, Pisces, and Aquarius. So there's no planets in earth elements. So this is still continuing to be that upper chakra. You might experience some anxiety if you are not grounded, especially if you have Leo, Pisces, or Aquarius placements. So it's really just allowing you to have those tools. Also, Friday forecast on Being Cosmic Chaos, I do provide different elemental techniques and tools to assist you during those planetary transitions. And then, let's see here, the 16th, I will be offering in-person services. So you can book an appointment with me. I will be offering celestial chakra clearings and galactic shamanic journeys. I noticed clients tend to book galactic shamanic journeys whenever a true node is transitioning. And February 6th, Neptune is in conjunction with that. So if you're interested, that does require a consultation, though, because
Yes, I'm just going to say that requires a consult.
Imagine if I threw you into a shamanic journey. Just
without a consult.
Can you explain a little bit?
It requires some prep time. It's very, very big energy. It takes a lot.
That's where I feel that full
clients
moon.
have a little bit of homework to do before they
Yes.
proceed.
I do recommend no meat or dairy 3 days before a galactic shamanic journey. We travel through the different realms. This is a 3-hour plus session with me.
And just in that alone, it's very physically demanding as well as spiritually and mentally and emotionally demanding. So it takes some prep work, which is why we require a consultation.
Yes, but that is open. So if you're interested for that for February, that would be a good time frame. Whoa, this next week has some stuff going on. Okay.
Third week of February, here we go.
Third week. So the 18th, Sun enters Pisces. Now, whenever the Sun shifts constellations, it changes our physical habits, especially if you have placements in that constellation. So if you have Pisces placements, know that this is being charged by the Sun. I always say this is your time to download your light language. This is a time to write light language. This is a time to be in the sun. If you specifically have those placements, it's always great to be in the sun, but understanding with those specific placements, it's charging up. Different thing if you don't have those placements, and let's say the month prior, let's say you have a lot of Aquarius placements, but not a lot of Pisces placements. You will feel the shift because now you have had all this charged up energy to those Aquarian placements, and now it's going away. So I like displaying and understanding what placements do you have that are sitting with the sun, because the sun naturally is charging up those physical placements. And if you have a lot of Pisces placements, you're getting charged up. And this is usually when I see people doing a bunch of things around their house, or they're just like, wow, I knocked out like 5 projects that I haven't been able to do all year. And I'm like, I'm willing to bet you have the sun placement in a lot of other categories. That day will also be a celestial courage video, so look out for that week. Then we have Juno entering Sagittarius. If you have your Cosmic Chakra guidebook, it won't matter because it's not in there. Actually, I'm underway of developing a cosmic guidebook for couples and families. This is why Juno isn't in that guidebook, because your Cosmic Chakra guidebook is literally for an introspection of yourself, because I firmly believe you should work on yourself first.
Mm-hmm. Very much so, yes.
But Juno is everything about partnership. So that 19th, anything in Sagittarius is really going to be amplifying adventure within partnerships that you have. And this doesn't mean an intimate partnership either. This can also mean how you partner up with family members, how you partner up in projects. This is just a union of energies, but it's mostly used for relationships. So if you have Sagittarian placements, it's really going to be focusing, okay, what are my beliefs about the relationship I'm in? Or where am I spending the most time in what relationships? And how can I, in a logical manner, balance out my actions within those relationships? And it's very helpful because the next day we have a last quarter in Sagittarius. Last quarter, I dislike the name of it because it sounds like, oh, well, that's the last phase of the cycle, and it's not. But it's one of the more well-known phases that's towards the end of a lunar cycle. And that's also in Sagittarius. And it's that last time to almost, okay, what are the last things I need to wrap up here before the cycle truly ends? And it's aligning with that Juno in Sagittarius. So it's also almost nudging us like, hey, what are relationships that should I complete? What soul contracts? Where am I good at, and where should I direct my attention in more beneficial relationships? That is literally Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We still have Sunday that has 2 other placements. Sunday, Mars goes direct. This is one of those, holy moly, thank goodness.
Yes.
Mars is a planet known for war, famine, anger, like very aggressive. But I also smile and laugh because we tend to lean on those negative connections to Mars. When Mars connects to our sacral, it connects to that creativity. When you think of making something, in actuality, the first step to making something is destroying something. So you have to destroy. If you think of putting pencil to paper, you're destroying the lead to make a mark on the paper. But now you've written a symbol and hopefully a bunch of symbols to make words or whatever you're making. So Mars actually is that first step of creating something. But it's going direct. So we're getting out of observing how we destroy shit and create stuff. And it's in Cancer. So if you have Cancer placements, we're getting out of observing what we're creating. I feel as though if you have Cancer placements, you've just been like chewing at the fingertips. Like, I have these projects to do. When will I actually do them? And talking about the energy in the beginning of the week, it's almost like there's been these other relationships that you've been giving time to way too freaking much that you haven't even allowed time to do those projects. But now this will be the week that you get to do those projects. You'll see the time that you wasted. Just kidding. This last one is Ceres. This one is entering Pisces, and that again sums up with the sun energy. And Ceres, this is a different gateway of entering vibrations. I actually want to, do you want to find Ceres in here? Because I want one to advertise the book, but to really go over what Ceres assists with.
I use the table of contents.
Beautiful. So this is that galactic energy. This is dealing with your higher selves. I really love that it's entering the sun, right? It's entering and combining itself with the sun's vibration. So this is really showing how like you're going to actually be allowing your higher self to charge you up. Also, just understanding you are a piece of your higher self.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we kind of like separate. We almost like, I don't want to say beg, but we plead and we pray, like, higher self, do this. And they're just like, get off your knees, stop praying to me. I am you. Like,
Part of the things we want is us doing the things we need to do to get them.
yes. Explain a little more, especially with what I was talking about for this third week in February.
We can't just sit back and expect some divine solution when we're these physical beings. We have to get up and put our effort into it, and it's a two-way street. We can't just sit back and expect things. We actually have to do. We have to do.
I think that's why people don't
Something.
like Mars energy. It's doing something.
It's doing something, yes.
Destroying
So
something to create something.
Yes, we have this instant gratification society that has kind of tricked our minds into thinking we don't have to do anything. We can just get the next solution and it does everything for us, but it's not. We have to be responsible for ourselves and our own actions.
And even deeper, it's not even doing something externally, because I feel like even doing stuff, people are doing things for that external validation and then wondering why their goals, their aspirations aren't coming to fruition. And that's when our higher selves kind of want to kick our butts, like, hey, you're not even taking action for yourself. You're just taking action because it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Or because so-and-so mentioned it, not because we actually wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Interesting. So that week is a little bit, that's lower chakras. So the first 2 weeks of February are very upper chakra dominant, a little anxiety. This third week, that's sacral and solar plexus, and then dealing with relationships, and specifically physical relationships and relationship with your higher self. It's interesting. It's almost saying, okay, well, where does your support come from? Do you provide confidence for your own actions? And what are you creating and what needs to be destroyed in order for you to create that support? I like that. I feel as though that is going to be a whole different group of clients that week, working with those lower chakras, connecting with your higher self. I feel a lot of Starseed channeling. The 22nd, I will be offering in-person sessions for that week. So amplifying on my Pisces, Sagittarians, and Cancer zodiac signs. And then we have the 4th week of February. Oh, this is pretty chill. This is the cool part. This is where we begin a new cycle at the end of a month. It's so strange. I feel as though we're really being shown how we are energetic beings within a physical vessel, because the energy is, oh, this is a new month. We're doing new things. But our physical bodies are like, girl, it's a Thursday. It's the end of the month. It's not a new month. So it's interesting how those two are going to be needing to compromise with one another.
To me, it's kind of showing the I guess, irrelevance of how we decide to section up our travel around the sun.
Yes.
Energy doesn't care that if we have
A
12
calendar.
months, a calendar, a clock. Doesn't matter if it's 3:24 on a Thursday afternoon. It does not care about that.
Nope.
It is on universal time.
Even thinking about today's weather and sunlight.
Yes, that was weird.
It was snowy one second and then the sun beaming another. And it was so strange. Very strange, but beautiful. And natural. It's interesting how natural things seem strange because we're so used to society normalizing a schedule. Now, the last week of February, the 27th, we have a new moon in Pisces. I will have a blog about that will typically have a meditation or a guided something to assist you in tapping into those frequencies. Now, this will be, if you have Pisces placements or water placements, creating goals, creating intentions, creating what you already envision having but don't yet physically have. This is stating that to the universe for you to accept it. Pretty much manifestation. It's not spell work. It's not casting anything. It's really, I am accepting things that are already in my divine blueprint. If you didn't desire it in the first place, if you don't desire something, then it's typically not in your blueprint. If you are already desiring it, you're already envisioning having it, it's because you already have it within your divine makeup. Then that same day, we have Saturn semi-sextile Chiron. This is interesting. Saturn, I feel as though all of the not fun planets are those lower chakra planets. And I feel as though they're not fun. They're actually pretty cool. They're not fun because they're dictating very physical parts of our makeup. And we have such a disconnect of what's naturally physical versus the societal norm,
Yes.
right? So these planets are like, no, it's actually normal to be grounded to the planet you're on and to miss being connected to nature.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is natural, but it's not seen as normal in society. And Saturn, whenever anything goes sextile, it is encouraging Chiron. Chiron is a masculine energy. This is that wound. And Chiron's interesting. Chiron is that trauma, that trigger that actually holds the key. It holds the medicine to understanding, oh, I don't have to let everything go. I don't have to allow that to traumatize me or trigger me. The more that I actually dig into it, I actually want to balance it out and integrate it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the moon phases, your moon signs and your Venus signs come into play, and with open arms and carry that trauma and transform it into something absolutely beautiful. But until then, you want to let it go and you don't want to ever see it again. And Chiron's like, you know what? I got you. We don't have to see this ever again until you're in your 50s, and then I'm going to exploit it in your face. So when you see people around their 50s, 60s, and their life like completely changes, that's Chiron. So if you're not anticipating that type of explosive masculine energy, this is where we get to face those traumas and triggers. And Saturn in this manner is actually saying, hey, you know what? I actually want to encourage you in grounding those triggers. Ground them so that you can actually see what's happening. So you can actually see, wait a second, why is this freaking me out? So it's interesting because with it being the same day of the new moon, this energetically interprets to me that whatever goals you actually want to set are on the other side of grounding that trauma or trigger. I feel as though for the collective, there are some goals we're even afraid to write down on paper because it triggers us. That's huge. And then it makes so much sense because March 1st, which is the Saturday coming up, Venus goes in retrograde, and Venus is that feminine accepting emotions. So we're going to observe how your emotions are triggered from making goals of those triggers.
It's literally slowing down to accept the energies that we go through for the whole month. I mean, not even just that week, but the whole month.
No, exactly. These energies last for more than.
However we choose to handle each one of these events, Venus is going to be right there to pick it up.
I really like that.
So whether you come out victorious or not with your challenges,
Venus connects with that fourth dimension as well. So it's really showing like, hey, you have the time to address these triggers and traumas. Like, you don't have to rush through this. It's also saying the more that you confront these triggers and traumas, the better you can create more compassionate goals. Because I feel as though, even including myself, looking at what we're going to be going through, thinking how intimate I thought my goals were, they're going to become even more intimate. They're going to become even more daring.
Sure. Which
I feel is what's needed. We need to start making goals that are honest, that trigger our fears. That's growth. Let's see here. I don't believe we have any in-person sessions. We will have exciting that Venus going retrograde in Aries. We will be live on here March 1st for another one of these. Speaking about March, yay! Neat. It's lining up on the 1st so far. So that's the planetary transitions and lunar cycles for the month. You can hear Pono snoring. It's so cute. Let's see what else. Oh, February 22nd. For events, I have the Bison drum painting class at Divine Lights, and pre-registration is required by February 22nd. If you're wanting to speak with me about the details for that class, please reach out to me, send me a text or an email about that.
The 22nd, February 22nd.
Because I do require time to get your drums in place and get all of the tools and make sure I know who's going to be there. And we go through a smudging practice. We'll go through how to cleanse and clear your tools. And then we will go through a ceremony of connecting your cosmic chakras and waking up your bison spirit to connect within your template. So that'll be very exciting. And then we'll go over symbology. We'll go over symbols that you are naturally drawn to paint onto your drum. So very, very exciting. Any upcoming projects?
Yes. I am currently in process of creating a elemental meditation course.
Is this in person or virtual?
It'll be virtual.
Okay.
It's a month-long course all about listening. Just what do the elements have to say?
Oh, I really like that.
Further details to come. Stay tuned.
Yay. Projects. I work on cosmic chakra shamanic tools, and I have a few special ones coming up. I'm creating a batch. That sounds so funny, but they're small batches. A small batch of
fresh squeezed tools.
small batch. You know what's funny? All I can think of is Andromedons, how they make organic Dior bags.
Oh, yes.
And it would look like that, like
Fresh squeezed?
yeah.
Oh.
They're just lining them up on like a clothesline of like Dior bags. Growing.
The Dior bag fruit itself. Yes.
Okay. So the cosmic tool.
The actual tools.
The actual tools. I noticed I hadn't listed it. It wasn't even listed on the website. So they are third eye chakra turtle shell rattles. Now these are incredibly special. Every time I have done a chakra clearing or a chakra cleanse. I believe it's upstairs.
Should I grab it? I'm gonna grab
Yeah, and the drum, so we
go.
can kind of show off.
Yes.
Yeah. So while he's grabbing that, I'm so stoked because each tool connects with very specific animal spirits, and this is just through my sessions and clients and through my exploration of working with tools and understanding there are specific animals that dominate specific chakras, and that goes the same with humans. We have also one or a couple dominant chakras in our life, and I notice typically if you are having an issue connecting to your dominant chakras, those are more likely the cosmic chakra tools that I see people order. But I'm very, very excited. The turtle shells are going to be polished soon. But here's the lovely rattle. The rabbit fur that we received in a trade, which I'm very, very blessed for. This rabbit fur is actually a darker color, and it was programmed and cleansed during this past new moon, that January, the new moon in Aquarius. So very big, big awakenings. And then we just ordered spruce. So we have 2-inch thick logs of spruce coming in that we are going to shellac and varnish and set in place with the turtle shells. And then we'll move on to the next step of programming the gemstones. And we'll just keep you updated because it is a unique process, and the different cycles that it does take to not only create the tool, but to honor it for each step is just something beautiful. There will be 3 available. One is already claimed, and each will have its own unique beading and other uplifting vibrations. So very, very stoked about having and creating those. If you are interested in a customized cosmic chakra tool and you're curious which tool goes with which chakra, or maybe you're interested in specific tools, which is directing that may be a chakra that you are incredibly talented in, ask away, because we will soon, maybe the end of the year, be making kits for you to make your own. But for right now, we're making them with so much love and grace for you so you can get right on your way of utilizing them. Here is my bison drum. This is, I believe, the 16-inch. This will be the largest drum we offer. 16, 14, and 12. I always think 10. 12-inch. And those each connect with different dimensional frequencies. This is mine each springtime because we connect and go through a ceremony, and we do this every spring equinox. And each springtime, I keep adding light language around my drums. And then, should I spill the autumn equinox?
Yeah, why not?
Autumn equinox, we've been called to provide drum painting class. I know, here you go. It's your face.
I was on TV.
Oh, my goodness. But instead of the bison style, it is going to be elk. And it's also going to be rawhide elk. So it will be pricier, but so worth it, and different sizes. Those will be 12, 14, and 18. Or 12, 16, and 18.
I think it was like 15.
Thank you.
They were very similar sizes, but they were like an inch or two different.
13, 15, and 18. Yes. There we go. Okay. The elk drums were like a few inches off. So it will be fun and unique because if you do sign up for a bison class and you're like, wait a second, I want an elk drum too, it's not going to carry the same spirit for one. Elk and bison, very different spiritual frequencies.
Very different physical animals.
2, we're dealing with the bison concept versus the elk raw hide. 3, the dimensions that they connect with are different because of the size offerings. So that is for autumn. Very, very stoked about that.
Super thrilled.
Right? So we have that planned. Oh, I will be varnishing my first lineup of altar animals. These are clay animals that hold incense and smaller crystals and your smudge. Very excited about that process. That was the only event I had to mention besides the live events. Is there anything else before we go through that deck review?
Oh, yes.
The
mystery deck.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, the upcoming meditation class, we have all the custom tools you can check out and order and even be a part of with the drum classes.
Yes. We provide paint. We provide anything that's required for the paint. We provide smudging tools for the class.
You simply buy your drum and class ticket and just show up.
The class ticket is you buying the drum.
Yeah.
Then we receive your drum. We prep everything. We make sure your drum is intact. That's why we require February 22nd. We require that month to make sure we have all the necessary tools and supplies. And it will be for the first time at Divine Lights, which that space is sensational.
Phenomenal.
So having a spring equinox class there I'm very excited. Let's get into this deck reveal.
mystery deck?
Yes.
Okay.
And also, this deck was purchased at Divine Lights. So if you are in need of an Oracle or Tarot deck, oh, that was the other thing I forgot to mention.
What's that?
I will be providing Tarot and Oracle card mentorship. Yes. So in the past, I have taught Celestial Divination. I taught how to read Tarot and Oracle. But this time, I will be mentoring you, and you will actually provide, you will have and bring in all of the Tarot and Oracle decks, even if it's just one, and we'll go over a routine, and I will coach you through building up that relationship with your spirit guides and how to read your cards naturally. So that's something.
Excellent.
Mystic Martian Oracle. See, I'm doing it again. So stoked. I was so stalking the page because I saw that decks were up, or I saw the mention of Oracle decks coming in, and the owner mentioned like they're going to have Oracle decks in, and I'm just like, yes, yes, yes. I'm so excited. I love reviewing them. And then I saw this one, and instantly, it was like a few days later, we got it.
And here it is.
Here it is. Look how shiny.
Brand new.
Shing.
That fresh deck smell.
Chrome. Okay, so it
From the
is
future.
Mystic Martian Oracle by Lisa Porter. Let's see. The great sky gods have silently been visiting and monitoring Earthlings since the beginning of time. This is a rock pool deck. Oh, are you checking it out,
Whoa.
Pono? Pono
nice.
approved.
Pono approved.
This deck is designed and intended as a guide to extraterrestrial species that transcend and coexist within the human genetic mind. Each card is beautifully designed as a symbolic and representational conduit for a specific archetype and has keywords that include metaphysical, emotional, and psychological feelings and everyday practical meanings. Open your eyes and stretch your insight into far broader horizons and allow these great sky gods to impart their wise guidance and wisdom from multidimensional perceptions. So it feels very...
All that was on the back?
I know. Okay, I'm going to be very honest. Looking at the pictures, doing that, judging a book by its cover, I was not anticipating that type of language or intellect from those 3 paragraphs on the back. So I'm actually really excited. I do appreciate the thumb holes. This deck is, the box is approved by me.
Ooh.
Cute. Here you go.
Yep. Thanks.
Where's the...
Here.
Cute. Ooh, even the booklet is...
From the future.
Whoa. What's happening? Oh, you can download something. All right. Ooh, we are so appreciated because it is full color. Just finding your face. Let's see here. We have introduction, using the cards, example spreads.
I happen to notice it is alphabetical.
Yes. Also, the types of extraterrestrial in here, there is a lot that I don't typically see in decks. So I'm actually really excited.
Most of these?
It says dedicated to my sister Christine. And then we have sacred geometry linking cards. No wonder.
Cool.
So the Syrian emissaries connect with sacred geometry. And I'm just like, no wonder you guys like provided this deck. Wow. And then we have an about the author section. We have to check out the spreads. Okay, typical past, present, and future spread. Martian spread. Cute. The wind is just a howling.
It's ripping out there.
And then it looks like, oh, neat. Okay, so it looks like we have a card number and alphabetical order. Yes, please, anytime anyone makes a deck,
If you, the viewer, makes a deck, please just make it alphabetical.
please alphabet or have sections.
Or
Have, like,
at least numbered.
Color code the sections something, because there have been some decks that I don't want to search the guidebook. I'm going to make up my own meaning if I have to search the guidebook. Okay, so we have 2 full pages, and then we have a card meaning. This is neat and a reversed.
And a reversed. Wow.
But,
for
like-
an oracle too.
But like multiple.
That's kind of rare for an oracle deck to
It
have a reverse
is.
reading.
Oh, so there's a whole separate section of extraterrestrials, and then we have a whole nother section for sacred geometry. Sweet. Very thorough. Good job, guys. Good job. Oh, my Lanta Santa. So we have a green inside, and then we have a purple inside.
Yep. Just cover my face.
Cute.
It is like
It is.
exceptionally 90s, and I love it.
Ah, look at the gilding.
The coloring is just like completely making me have like Rocco's Modern Life vibes.
This is so cool. Okay, the bubbles. This has to be like a Starseed thing with bubbles. If
Oh,
you've
yes,
looked
the
at all of
bubbles.
our things,
Mhm.
we put the bubble around our logo. But the backs are gorgeous. They're mesmerizing.
Yes.
That is so pretty.
The lime green gilding is it gilded?
Yeah, look
Yes.
at that.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, it is.
Wasn't my eyes
Um,
playing tricks?
No. The cardstock.
Looks a little.
It's not as the most recent decks that we've been feeling out have been like paper thin. It's not paper thin, but it's still not as thick. I want to hold it like this and not bend it because I'm barely placing pressure and I'm bending it. So it's not terrible,
Yeah, I see
but
what you're
it
saying.
could be better.
Not bad.
No, not bad.
All right. Break it open. Let's
Okay.
go.
Number 1, Agarthans. Manifesting multidimensional perception attunement. Agarthans. Okay, there are pterodactyls
Are they
in the
in the book?
background.
Our book.
Oh, you can check it.
Yeah.
There is a book that we recommend if you are wanting to get to know more extraterrestrials.
grab it.
Yes. We have Alpha Centaurians. Alpha Draconians. I do love the humor that this deck is holding. Oh, darn. This is probably my favorite card. Andromedons. Yeah. Yep. Ooh, Anunnaki. We have Enlil and Enki. That says a lot. Arcturians. All right, but why does this Arcturian dude look like he's... I know he only has 3 fingers, but he looks like he's going like...
If he's dealing with humans, he probably is.
Blue avians.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. Oh, cards are a little sticky. All right, go ahead.
Book plug: the Extraterrestrial Species Almanac by Craig Campabasso. If anyone's familiar with the Gaia channel, he is on several of their programs.
Phenomenal book.
Phenomenal book. It's basically an encyclopedia of extraterrestrials. Super helpful, super insightful, and just
Informative.
informative and interesting. Even if if you just want something to read, it's very interesting.
Ebons. Grays short.
Yes, because there are multiple types of gray. Oh, yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
Grays tall. Lyrans?
Lyran, he's about to.
Hold on. There. Mantis beings. Oh my gosh. I absolutely love this. If you know me, I love mantis beings. They're one of the first beings that really entered my life without me realizing it. MIB.
Men in Black.
Ooh. I guess they probably had to put MIB because they couldn't. The whole copyright.
Because of the movie?
Yeah. Nagas. I'm
Oh.
going to cover this because.
Oh, yes, because of the YouTube.
The WhoTube. It's also not meant for children,
Yes.
so.
Artistic Nike.
Nagas. I literally just learned about this word, those species.
Is that in it?
I don't think it's in there. It's more
Check
of
the
like
book.
Hindu Nephilim. These give me like Titan vibes. Pleiadians. We were just talking about Pleiadians.
Even their card is gentle.
Yes.
They're so kind.
Reptilians.
Ooh.
Tell me why everyone like knew that kid in high school.
Oh. Yes.
Syrians A.
I'm serious, A.
Oh,
You serious?
are you serious? Interesting.
Yeah. Notice all the water.
Syrians B.
Serious B.
I'm gonna cover up
What?
the naked mermaid.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Tall whites. I'm curious if the tall whites are the like Nordic. Yeah.
Possibly.
Tausesians?
Tausetians? Seasons?
Tausetians?
I have not heard of that one.
Tausesians? Curious if that's in the book. Oh, this is one of my favorites. The Galactic Federation.
The Federation has their own card? Oh,
The Federation
cool.
has their own card. I mean, they have to break up everybody.
That's true.
Vegans from Vega.
Quick flip in the book. I didn't see the other one.
Venusians.
Venusians.
I have a lot of Venusian Starseed friends.
I'm still going to say that was the most peaceful meditation I've ever had. Was Venusian energy.
Oh, we have elements. Air element. I love, alchemy or the Philosopher's Stone. I really do love how playful these very expansive concepts are.
Yes.
Crop circles. Because honestly, each of these cards is carrying a concept that carries a lot of understanding. So to display it in such a fun manner without disrespecting it. Earth. Flower of life.
Pretty.
Looks
Yep.
familiar.
It does.
Fire element.
That girl is on fire.
Golden ratio. Or the Fibonacci sequence.
Fibonacci.
Kabbalah, tree of
Ooh.
life. I
that
feel like if someone drew this card, I would get the Kabbalah deck.
Oh.
The Oracle deck. Merkaba. Ouroboros. Yum. To the snake eating itself. Pentagram. See, again, another like controversial subject, even though it's really displaying energies that you should or
Well,
shouldn't have.
even just on the card, harmony, protection, idealism.
Shadow self. I like
Ooh,
that he's
yes.
making his own shadow. It's like, yeah.
Your shadow's part of you.
And when you become scared of yourself, Starseed. Third eye. The third eye roll.
I was going to say, rolls third eye.
Vesica Pisces.
Viscous.
Piscis. I don't know how to say it. Maybe that's why that tattoo never. It's blending your mentality. It's part of it's honestly like the first hermetic principle. But that being said, I still don't know how to accurately say it without making fun of it. The water element. This is an awesome and beautiful deck, and I do love how playful it is.
Yes.
I noticed, of course, there's this Starseed Oracle deck that has different star beings. The Lemurian Child deck, that's, I believe, the authors are Australian. That's an older deck, and that has a lot of star beings. I'm trying to think. Obviously, there is a Pleiadian and Lyran deck. Those have star beings in it. But until now, I've never seen a deck with so many different star beings. So this is really awesome. I know there are a few Oracle decks coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And tarot. There's Galactic Tarot and Cosmic Tarot that are going to be talking more about the different star beings.
As we as a society and collective continue expanding our minds and to the possibility that there are extraterrestrials out there, it'll become more, I guess, lack of a way to better say it, mainstream. Different thing. How did it shuffle with your little bridge style there?
Really nice.
Because I'm an overhander. For those of you that have seen our review videos, or wow, they're actually really
pick some cards for us.
Yes, thank you, Spirit. That's a 2-card pull.
Syrians B. Responsibilities, lessons, growing up. Tall whites, uncertainty, distrust, and guarded. Interesting. Whenever I pick 2 cards, I like combining them. So responsibilities and uncertainty. So this could be a time that you may be uncertain of what your responsibilities are. Lessons and distrust. There is going to be challenges with trusting the lessons that are coming your way. And then growing up and guarded. Maybe it's time as you are an adult to be less guarded. Interesting.
Very neat.
Very, very neat. Yeah. So those 2 are coming up, and I love that because I was talking about Syrian energy, and I do love how it has Syrian A versus Syrian B, because Syrians have this multiple system. Also, Oracle of Dragons that has a lot of different, like Syrian, Orion, Pleiadian, that kind of stuff. So very neat deck. That kind of
what do you think?
Wraps it up. Thank you, everyone, for coming and checking us out. I'm very stoked to continue card readings, especially with this deck to add to the mix, especially channelings. I'm really excited about February. I feel as if the beginning of the month has a lot of getting anxieties out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gets into more of like, what are the relationships around you versus the relationship with your higher self? And then after it gets more into, well, now it's time to get out of your own way and confront some fear of making goals that you actually want to make. Like, no more playing it safe with your goals.
Yep.
So, very neat. Excited to see who else signs up for the Bison Drum class, and very, very appreciative of who has already signed up for the Bison Drum class. Super stoked to see how your virtual class goes.
Yes.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much.
Thank you, everybody.
We love and appreciate you, and know that you are able to like, subscribe, and follow us on Facebook. That is where I will be holding the Angelic Flame readings. Instagram, Starseed channelings. Let's see, TikTok. That is the where I do daily miniature readings. A charge of energy versus an energy that balances out that charge. As well as Wednesdays, I provide for February. This will be Syrian cleansing the aura, what's going on in your auric field. So stoked about all of these integrations. And also being Cosmic Chaos on Spotify, offering the Friday forecast and the moon meditations on Mondays. And then, big shout out, Wednesdays coming up, we will have Elam discussing his interpretation of aura. And then we will have two other guests that I'm actually going to reveal them when the time comes. Yep, but we will have 3 guest speakers for the month of February, speaking about aura and how they use it in their practice, how you began interpreting auric fields, and all that.
It's going to be fun.
Yes, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Have an amazing February. If you are needing assistance that isn't addressed, or maybe it is addressed in the podcast or other medias, please feel free to email us or send a message to our phone. Bye, guys.